Mute my family.
Yes, you do, Jeff.
Okay. Making sure they
Okay,
me sing.
I am recording, which is great because now we can share this with anyone that has to leave or miss the rest of the meeting. So, all right, Isaac, you're up, buddy.
All right, so my name is Isaac Lindner. I am currently a freshman at Carroll, or I just finished my freshman year actually at Carroll University. I belong to Waukesha Bridge Church in Waukesha. And then, let's see, what I hope to get out of the camp is just to be a role model and to inspire kids that have gone through different stuff or similar things, and just being a mentor. That's one of my goals. And then my favorite go-to snack would be chocolate milk. We go through about a gallon a gallon a day almost. With chocolate milk.
Wow.
Nice.
Ooh.
All right, we are going to go to Jacqueline next because she also needs to leave a little bit early tonight to go to another Zoom meeting, right, Jacqueline?
Yes. Yeah, my days are full of Zoom meetings these days. Yes, so I'm Jacqueline Wright. This is my ninth year doing Royal Family. I am the Assistant Dean of Women, and let's see, go-to snack these days would probably be Moose Tracks ice cream. Gone through a couple tubs of those with my husband these days, so it's been a nice comfort food.
Nice.
Anything?
That was great. All right, now I'm going to, just to make it easy on myself, I'm just going to go down this list, and it's probably in alphabetical order, so it'll just make it easier to keep track of everybody and make sure everybody has a turn. So we're going to go to Elise next. Elise, if you could introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Elise Allen. I'm a sophomore at Greendale High School, and I go to Southbrook Church. I'm hoping to just learn more about God and grow more in Him at RFK and to serve Him well. And my favorite go-to snack would probably be mini M&Ms.
Cool. And Elise's parents have been at our camp numerous times with Elise doing amazing balloon animal creations for all the kids at our birthday parties. So wait till you see this girl in action if we get to make some balloon animals again this year, because she's incredible.
I'll bring some with me.
Yes, for sure. All right, we're going to go to Carissa. Is Carissa here? I don't know if I saw that name pop up. Let me look down my list. I don't see Carissa here right now. Okay, and is Taylor here? I don't see Taylor. All right, how about Natalie? Natalie, can we have you go next?
Sure. So yes, I'm Natalie, and I'm just finishing my freshman year at Wisconsin Lutheran College, and I attend Parkway Church in Oak Creek. And I'm really looking forward to joining the Royal Family Kids team. I have an older brother who's participated a couple times, and I'm looking forward to getting to know the kids and all the rest of you guys. And I have to say, I've really been enjoying honey buns during this COVID-19.
Interesting.
Nice. That's awesome. Yes, and it's going to be so fun to have another brother and sister duo at camp. We love family. You know, we have a lot of different families that have all these people serving, so it's going to be so fun. All right,
Nick
is
awesome.
Dev?
So that's awesome.
Yeah, is Devin here? I don't know if I saw Devin's name. Okay, Christina. Christina, her? Yes. Wait, I have to admit her. We have some people. See, I was not watching over here. On my Google Meet, it makes a noise. This one, for some reason, doesn't make a noise, so it's not as easy to keep track. Is there a setting for that?
Yeah.
So welcome, Christina, and welcome, Michelle. I'm so sorry if you were in the queue for a little bit. We just started introductions, and we're so glad you're here. So let's do a few people, and then we'll come back and hear from Christina in a little bit. So how about, is Linda here? I don't see Linda.
Menzia?
Grace? Oh, is Linda here?
Yeah.
Linda's here.
Linda Menzia?
Yep.
Oh, perfect. All right, Linda. We'd love to hear a little bit about you.
Okay, this will be our first year volunteering at Royal Family Kids. And it's always kind of been a passion that we've had to, when Grace turned 18, to kind of work as a family there. And my husband, Bob, is going to be a day worker, hoping to work with the kids with arts and crafts. And we've been going to Southbrook, about 5 years?
Nice.
And my favorite go-to snack, chocolate. Grace has been baking. Well, she's been doing her at-home schooling and has been making brownies, peanut butter brownies, and whatever you did with those chocolate chip cookies were amazing. So,
Well, Grace, just so you know, we have this giant snack room called the Prayer and Feasting Room. So if we do get to go to camp this summer, we're going to be expecting some amazing bars that you'll be bringing for all of us to enjoy.
She made these brownies and stuck peanut butter cups in them and then covered them with crumbles. And
So Grace, we'd love to hear a little bit more about you too.
Well, I'm a senior at Oak Creek High School this year. I plan on attending MSOE next year to do biomolecular engineering. And I've done gymnastics for like 16 years. I do tracks. I love, getting out and about and doing things. I hope from Royal Family Kids just to get some, I guess, more eye-opening to myself. I've been very lucky and very blessed my whole life, and I haven't really experienced, a lot of things that so many people in the world, get dealt. And, I would love to reach out and use my blessings to help those people that, aren't as fortunate as I am to be blessed with a loving, stable family and 2 wonderful dogs. And yeah, so I hope to do that. My favorite go-to food would definitely be some like mint Oreo custard.
Nice. Thank you guys for sharing. We're really glad you guys are making this a whole family affair here. All right, let's go to Gloria. Gloria Phillips. Let me see if she's on our list here. I don't see her name. Okay, and Reagan.
I'm Reagan.
Could you go next?
Yeah, I'm Reagan. I'm a junior at Eisenhower High School. Our family does foster care. So by going to Royal Family Kids Camp, I think it would just be, another part of what we can do to serve those things. In my go-to snack, probably goldfish. I've been eating a lot of goldfish.
What snack was that?
Goldfish.
Ah, goldfish. All right, and Cameron.
I'm Cameron. So I'd say, I'm going into my senior year at the University of Alabama in the fall, and I'd say I'm hoping for a similar experience out of Royal Family Kids. Just our family has been doing foster care since we were little, so just kind of extending that and making a different impact on more kids for the week. And we've been having popcorn every night, so I'd say that. We make a bag every night and eat it.
Thank you, guys. We're really excited about you coming. All right, we're going to move to Jordan.
Hi, I'm Jordan. I am an early childhood special ed teacher in Milwaukee. I'm really excited to meet some new kids and hang out with some kids and make friends with all of you guys. And I would say my go-to snack is also ice cream, usually chocolate. Last week we had this ice cream that had like peanut butter cups and fudge swirls and peanut butter swirls, and it was so good.
The Moose Tracks?
No.
Moose Tracks possibly?
Sounds like Moose Tracks.
Yeah, it was probably Moose Tracks. I remember. It was so good. I was craving it like all day and waiting until nighttime after dinner to eat it.
Thank you so much for sharing and being here. All right, is Michael ready to share?
I'm here. I am a
Yes.
senior in life. I attend Southbrook Church. We've been attending about 15 years now. I'm doing the Royal Family Kids Club because my children are grown. And as one who was in the foster child program, I was adopted at about 10. So I know what it's like to grow up in some of that system. And for those of you who do the foster caring in your families, guys like me, we appreciate everything that you're doing for the up and coming generation of those that are in the foster care program. So, but I have 3 biological brothers. So anyway, just know a little bit about it and would like to help be a mentor to those who might be going through some different difficulties in life. Other than that, as far as the snack food is concerned, I'm about 6'3", 235 pounds. So anything that I get my hands on is a great snack.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Michael. All right, let's go to Justin.
Cool. My name's Justin Thompson-Gee. I am the morning meteorologist at CBS 58 here in the Milwaukee area. I'm super interested in Royal Family Kids. I've kind of been interested for a couple of years and it just hasn't really worked out. So excited to finally be able to volunteer this year and build some of those relationships, especially with some of the younger boys. And my favorite go-to snack, I would probably say anything that ends in O's, like Cheetos, Doritos, Gardettos, anything like that. But I would probably say Flamin' Hot Cheetos. That's my top.
Awesome. All right, let's go to Michelle next.
Okay, I'm Michelle Henry, and I actually live in Illinois. I am in northern Illinois in McHenry. We have the only outdoor theater probably left in all of the Midwest.
Wow.
So we're kind of known for that. And it's one of our favorite things to do is take a big pickup truck, load up furniture or mattresses or whatever, park facing the screen and listen on our radio to the movies. It's one of our faves. And I just recently got married remarried 3 years ago, and have some new kids as well as my own. My son was supposed to get married tomorrow, but that's not happening now because of the pandemic. So kind of been a little rough because I wasn't planning on being able to be available for this meeting. I was hoping to be at a rehearsal dinner. So that's been kind of a bummer, but let's see. And I have participated in Royal Family Kids as well as track. I was with the Kenosha group last summer and had a blast. I am a firm believer in what Royal Family Kids does, and so I was supposed to be bringing nursing students from Herzing University, but that won't be happening. But I still want to be the camp nurse. So that's what brings me here. Favorite snack? Oh my gosh. Anything chocolate.
Agreed. Michelle, we're so glad you're joining us this year. It's going to be really fun to have you on our team. We've got so
I'm
much to
excited.
share with them. I am too. Super excited. So we are going to go on to Madison.
Hi, I'm Madison. I'm a sophomore at Franklin High School, and I wanted to do RFK because I just wanted to grow my faith and serve, and I've never really served like this before. And then one snack I've been eating a lot is probably Cheez-Its.
Nice. All right, let's go to Abby.
Hi, I'm Abby. Oh, can you guys hear me? Okay. Okay. I just graduated in December from Columbia College Chicago. I live in Chicago primarily. I'm in Milwaukee right now because that's where I'm originally from. And I've been interested in RFK for a couple of years. My friend Sienna has been serving for years from high school, and I just haven't had the opportunity in the past to serve. But What else about me? Oh, I'm a theater teacher. So right now I freelance teaching theater throughout Chicago I work for different companies, going into schools and doing residencies and such. And my family used to have foster babies when I was younger, and it's something that I've always just been really passionate about and been on my heart. And obviously I'm not old enough to have my own foster children, so I wanted to give back to the cause and in some way and just learn more about it, just to better prepare myself for when I am old enough to do that. So and what I'm hoping to get out of camp is just to love on those kids and serve in whatever way I can. Have God use me to help them grow in their relationship with God, or just hear about him for the first time, and just to make the kids feel comfortable. So that's me in a nutshell. And favorite snack, definitely ice cream. I'm on the Moose Tracks route for sure. Not a snack, but something I just told my grandparents is, I think something that's come out of this COVID for me is my avid passion for fish tacos. I have never eaten so many fish tacos, so much Friday fish fry ever. Especially because in Chicago, that's just not as big as it is here in Wisconsin. So now that I'm home, it's every Friday we're getting fish tacos. And today we made them, which was a new experiment, and they were really good. So not
That's
a snack,
awesome.
but definitely fish tacos with the Moose Tracks. That sounds so Wisconsin, but yeah.
Thanks so much, Abby. All right, let's go to Martha.
Hi, my name is Martha Tinajero, and I go to Oak Creek Assembly of God. For years, I've known about Royal Family Kids through my sister-in-law Annie and my niece Marcia, and I've been wanting to be a part of it for years. I just haven't been able to, so finally this year I'm able to, and I'm very excited about it. I have been a teacher for many years, and last year I spent time with my husband, so I haven't been around kids. I haven't been around, I taught middle school, but I just have a desire to be around the kids, to serve the Lord and bless them in any way that I can. So that's why I want to be a part of this group. And as far as a snack, my husband and I have tried the So Delicious cashew milk ice creams, and two of our favorites are, mine, chocolate and cookies and cream. And then he likes the salted caramel cluster. So,
That sounds just like my husband, John, and he said he knows you. So you and your husband and my husband need to just have an ice cream day or something.
Okay.
You know my husband, John.
Hey, Martha.
Hi,
All right. I go to. I'm sorry. I go to Imago Day in Milwaukee. When I'm in Chicago, I go to Renewal. I don't know if you're familiar with either of these, but yeah. Imago Day, yeah. It's I say church plant. I guess it's not as much of a plant anymore, and then in Chicago, it's also a church plant. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's go to Christina.
Hi, I apologize. I came in late, but I think I've got the gist of what's going on here. So
Yes. And I'm sorry, Christina, I didn't see your name up there, and I'm sorry you were waiting a little bit.
Oh, that's okay. It gave me some time to figure out what we're doing. And I guess I can tell you that I moved from Ohio to Milwaukee 2 years ago, and I joined Southbrook Church. I'm retired from a career of working with individuals with developmental disabilities of all ages. And I've been hearing about this Royal Kids Camp for 2 years, and so I decided that this would be something I would like to do. And my favorite snack is anything chocolate and peanut butter together.
Yes.
That's the perfect combination.
I love that idea. Let's do it.
I think we just need to have a big ice cream party no matter what, you guys. All right, let's go to Andrea next. And after Andrea, I know some people are getting ready to leave pretty soon. We're going to try to take a picture, Jacqueline, if you can wait like 1 minute.
Yeah, and I was going to say David Anderson isn't on that list because he filled out a returning application. So
Yes, I know. Yeah, I do have him on my list, but thank you. Yes.
I am Andrea Hopgood, and I had been the children's pastor at Elmbrook Church for the last 10 and a half years. I just resigned the end of February, so going through some transition with that. And so I'll be doing some consulting with Inner City Children's Ministries. And growing up, my mom always we always had foster kids in our home as I was growing up. And so I've always had a heart with foster care. So when the opportunity came up to be a part of this, I just, everything just lined up and I just jumped on it. So looking forward to being able to share God's word with the kids. My snack has been two things. It's been plain Ruffle potato chips and M&M peanuts. Peanut butter M&Ms. Peanut butter M&Ms and plain Ruffled potato chips.
Together, or like it's salty and then sweet, like salty sweet?
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. All right. So let's have David go next.
Yeah, David Anderson. I think, I'm not exactly sure. I have to ask Fred and Chris, but I think this will be my 8th year. I've been associated with the Royal Family Kids Camp out of the Assembly of God Redeemed Church as a wood dude. And I've got a lot of woodworking tools on my property, so I enjoy doing that sort of thing. In terms of what I want to get out of camp, probably pretty much the same thing as the last several years. And that's, I really get a charge seeing in kids' faces when aha moments, when they realize I can. I really am okay. It's a charge. And you can just see it in their face, hear it in the tones of their voices, in their speech. In terms of, what I like, my kind of semi-secret sin, for those of you who like the two most popular FDA-approved food groups, caffeine and sugar, get a pen and a piece of paper right now. You want this. Take two tablespoons of powdered coffee, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of hot water, stir it, blend it on high for a couple of minutes till it gets really thick. So that's on one hand. On the other hand is you've got a small glass of milk with ice cubes. Scoop that stuff in on top of the milk and the ice and stir it up, pop a straw in it, and you will not come down for a month of Sundays.
Love that. My stepdaughter just made that for me the other day. Awesome stuff.
Awesome. All right, you guys, before we go on to the next person, we're going to have everybody just give me your best smile. John is going to take a class photo of us. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2. Got it. All right, now let's see. A couple people came on a little bit late. So did I miss anybody who did not get to hear?
Yeah, Dave Swire.
I think you got everyone, Lisa.
Did we get everybody?
No, my wife, Julie, this will be her first time.
Julie, tell us about you, Julie.
Hi. Well, I teach English as a second language for the College of Lake County, and almost every summer that David has been working at Royal Family, I have not been able to come because I've had conflicting schedules. So I'm really excited this summer because I'm going to be a floater, and I have a lot of camp experience. And even at my age, I still love all the camp songs and activities and the crafts. And, I have also worked with developmental adults with developmental disabilities. I have a master's degree in special education, and I also have a special education license. I taught 3rd grade special ed. So I'm just hoping that I can fill some needs. Because I have a lot of different kinds of experience. I hope that I'll be able to help out whatever way I can. And my favorite go-to snack during this, I love granola bars, any kind. And I found a great recipe for granola bars that have oatmeal and honey and pumpkin seeds and cranberries and raisins. I've been enjoying making that.
Obviously, this is a situation where opposites attract. She likes the heavy stuff. I like the caffeine and the sugar. So,
Nice. Well, I need to duck out, Lisa, so I'm not too late to my next meeting. But it was really great meeting all of you new staff. I'm super excited. You guys are just a group of rock stars, and so look forward to serving with you guys.
Hi, Jackson.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Lisa, you're muted for talking. Lisa, you're still muted.
We can't hear you.
Going to your ears.
You're muted.
You know what? That happened on a kindergarten Zoom meeting. All just started talking, and I'm like, why aren't they listening to me? But John just said that only 20 out of the 24 people like showed up in the picture. So we're gonna try it just one more time and see if we can get the whole
Taking pictures
group.
is what we look for.
Yes, taking pictures is important. All right, so are you ready?
No, I can't. Where'd they go? Hang on.
Technical difficulties.
Right, I think.
Yes.
They're all there.
Okay, here we go. 3,
No,
2.
I already did it.
Oh, here it is. Oh, we're gonna smile. Here we go. 3.
Welcome to my life.
2.
You can't hear me.
1. Smile.
Am I ready? Am I ready? Go.
Got it. You guys look awesome. I just love to see your smiles. All right, well, we didn't hear from all of the leadership teams, so we're going to do that next. Why don't we have Jeff? You're on the screen. Why don't you go next?
Sure, I'm Jeff. I've been with camp for 10 years. The
Jeff.
first 4 years I was a counselor. And then they tricked me. I mean, they asked me to be on leadership, promotion, or just make sure I behave myself, depends how you look at it. My role at camp is the Dean of Men. So besides stuff I do before camp with trainings and interviews and whatnot, it's really helping the men and the boys. You know, I'm your biggest cheerleader and mostly your biggest servant. Whoever you need, I got. When kids have a hard time, there's actually two different levels of help. There's the dean team, which is like myself. There's Jacqueline. You'll meet Debbie at some point. And really, we try to go alongside with you. The kids having a hard time, give you strategies, or maybe they need another voice that's not you as a counselor to kind of help them out. We also have a care team, like John and Jan are there, and they kind of like when kids having a really hard time, which is above my pay grade. Okay, I don't get paid, but above my pay grade, they're the ones that really help us out when kids are really struggling. And so again, it's 10 years. I can't believe it's been 10 years, which is crazy. But it's been awesome. And I'm really excited to meet you guys. Not this way in person. I'm more that kind of person, but I'm glad I get to see most of you. So yeah, you're part of the team. Oh, wait, go on my snack. I'm more of a bakery type person, so I like cookies. Sorry not to offend any ice cream people. I apologize. But I do like oatmeal caramel pecan bar things that I can make. They're so really healthy.
They have oats. That sounds very healthy.
Sure. And caramel.
And caramel.
Awesome. Well, Jan, your face just popped up with your cute little laugh, so why don't you go next?
Okay, I'm Jan McClintock, and actually Jeff was describing what I do. I, with Lisa's husband, John Bly, head up the care team. And our principal role at camp is to support the counselors in handling kids who are struggling. And that's our goal. Our purpose is to keep everybody at camp. So hopefully no one struggles so hard that we can not handle it at our camp. And last year we actually made it. So I was really excited about that. This will be my 6th year at camp. And snack. Oh, I'm both a psychiatric nurse and a licensed professional counselor. So I've spent my life committed to kids having hard times, and be they the smaller kids or adolescents, and I've done grown-ups too, but my heart is with the children. Snack, right now, this thing being at home has gotten me into cinnamon. And it's been just a comfort smell and taste, and so anything cinnamon.
Nice. Thanks, Jan. Let's move on to Annie. Can you go next, Annie?
Sure. My name is Annie Villa, and I've been with RFK, I'm going to say 14 years, right? 14. It's only been 2 years.
That's correct. 14, Annie.
And
That's it?
yeah. Well, I didn't go last year, remember? Duh. Anyway, my my primary role during camp is child placement coordinator. What I do is I work with the social agencies. In essence, you can call it recruiting kids. So I make sure that the kids come to camp with all their paperwork done. I'm the primary contact person for the caregivers during camp if anything's come up. In addition to that, I wear a lot of different hats. Whatever needs to get done to have camp be successful, I will be doing that. I am part of the host church, Changing Lives, and I apologize, my memory's doesn't do well. Oh, and my my favorite snack is the seafood diet. Right now, anything that I see is game to eat. only because last year I had cancer and I lost 45 pounds. So I gotta make some of this stuff up, one way or the other. So this has been ideal for home and eat. But selfishly, Ben and Jerry's Cherry Garcia is perfect. But it comes in a container by itself. And last year, because of what I was going through, my family could not share any food with me. Everything was just my own. So these little small, perfect size ice cream tubs, I can consume one in one sitting. I'm ashamed to say. That's it.
Nice. Thank you, Annie. And let's have Dave go next.
Hi, it's Dave Viana again. My role at camp is, well, my technical title is I'm the camp expediter. Fancy term for gopher. I do all the running to Walmart. I spend half the time at Walmart, half the time at camp. Always running to get things, whatever the kids need, whatever the counselors need, whatever the camp needs to run, I go get it. But the good news is that midweek, I'm the guy that goes to get the ice cream for everybody. So got something to look forward to there.
That's right.
This is my 6th year at Royal Family. Both my wife, Heather, and I serve. Heather, my wife, is a counselor, and I serve as the expediter. And this is our 6th year, and we love doing it, and we're just going to continue doing it until they kick me out.
Not happening, Dave. So, did I miss anyone on leadership that's here? Okay, because I know not our whole team was able to join us today. So I'm yelling at my husband in the background because he's making a lot of noise, and so I'm telling him to keep it down. I will introduce myself. My name is Lisa Bly, and this actually is my 14th year. I've been part of our camp since its very first one in the very beginning, and I'm excited about just another year. I know it's kind of looking different than we expected, but it's really exciting. And my role as camp director is, you know, we do a lot behind the scenes throughout the year to prepare recruiting volunteers and just, you know, making all of the preparations that need to happen. And that just involves so many people working together. But when camp actually happens and we get there, then I feel like I become kind of like the camp cheerleader, and I just love getting the kids really excited about what the next event is, and just, you know, telling them what's coming up on the schedule, and that's just been really fun for me to have that kind of role at camp. So I'm looking forward to doing that this year in whatever capacity we do that. So my favorite snack, my husband is an ice cream addict, and he practically eats ice cream every night, and he just had a birthday, so people were bringing him ice cream cakes and cops drop off. So we've been eating ice cream pretty much nonstop here. So, and my favorite is kind of like a Cherry Garcia, but with chocolate chunks in it. So cherries and chocolates together. So that's a little bit about me. Did everyone get a chance to share? I just want to make sure we didn't miss anyone. Everyone got a chance. Okay, great. So now I think I am going to have you all mute your microphones if your microphones are not muted, because we're just going to go to the next little section, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about camp and also about this summer and a little bit about training, the rest of the training components that would be required. So first of all, I want to tell you guys that this way of greeting you tonight would not be our ideal. We would love to be face-to-face with all of you. And in fact, at our main training that we would be doing next week with the whole staff together, one of the things we did is we kind of would surprise all of you with kind of a little demonstration of what it's like to be greeted at camp when the kids arrive on the buses and we're there cheering and showing them the signs. So we couldn't really do that today logistically, but I wanted to show you some pictures of what it's like to be at camp and what it's like for the kids and the staff as they're arriving. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And let's see if this works. I'm going to ask Annie to turn your microphone on so that you can tell me in a little bit if everything is working. Hang on one sec. I'm going to stop for a minute because I want to make the slides are up in the background because maybe there's things that block your screen at certain times. So let me try it again now and see if it'll show up right away. Honey, you're going to have to help me.
Excuse me, but I've been banished from the room, so I'll be unable to help you.
Help me, please. Hang on. It's not, now I just like went to somewhere.
Lisa, work by the clapper.
Yeah.
Clap.
Somehow the screen disappeared, so hang on a second. Now my husband is coming back to rescue.
Well, no. A minute ago, I was kicked out of the room.
She changed her mind.
No.
Okay, there we go. It was hiding behind. So I want to just.
Get rid of this. You don't need that.
Okay.
Make this bigger.
Okay.
And now.
We're going to share.
What do you want to share?
I'm sharing. I want to share the Google Slides that are behind this. Not that.
Ones?
This one.
Okay, so open that up. And share the screen. Let's see if it works.
Okay, you got to click that then. Click it and then share.
Yeah, but that doesn't show the Google Slides.
Try it again, though. It might.
You guys
okay, can you guys see some slides right now?
Yep, they're on there.
Okay. Thank you, Lord, and thank you, John. All right. I'm going to go to this format here so that
Lisa, you're muted. Do you know that?
I can hear her.
No, I don't think so. Can you hear me, Jan?
Sorry, turn her volume.
You might need to turn your volume up. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah. I can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay, so when we are at camp, we create signs for all of the kids with their names on them, and we get ready. We're holding a big welcome sign, and we are just excited. You can see by the smiles that are on those faces there that we are just so excited to meet the kids that are arriving. So what we're doing here is we're standing on a little grassy area, and we are waiting for the kids to arrive on a big charter bus that will be arriving any minute. We have the kids come to church, and they have a registration time, and then they come to camp on a bus. Hang on one second.
There's an arrow lease in the bottom.
All right, so here we go.
Maybe I'll go stay at someone else's house.
Okay, so now you can see the screen there, and you can see, it's kind of waiting as things get going here. And in this picture, you can see the bus is just coming down the corner here. So we're all going crazy. People are jumping up and down and getting super excited as the kids arrive. And here our coach bus arrives with all of our campers ready to start an amazing week together. So I wanted to show you that because we don't know what our camp experience is going to look like this year. We don't know if we're going to be going, to a physical campground. We'll talk about all the different scenarios a little bit later. But I kind of wanted to give you a picture of what camp is normally like. And it might look a little different this year, but it's going to be great no matter what it is. So then as the kids get off the bus, we announce their names. We announce if they're a returning camper. We announce if they're a new camper. And all the faces of the kids you're going to see are kind of, hidden a little bit just because we're doing this online. But they come off the bus in all different ways. Sometimes they come off scared. Sometimes they come off shy. Sometimes they come off super excited. And sometimes they come off looking very just forlorn and helpless and hopeless. But a lot of things happen at camp to change that. So I'm just going to show you some of the kids. This little sweetie is just adorable and just wants to get a nice hug. And this little guy, his head is down and, we don't know what's going on in these kids' lives. That's what I see this picture. We don't know what's going on in his life, that he was not feeling, real happy as he got off the bus. But I guarantee that as the week went on, his smile started coming out. So then as all the kids get off the bus, we wait to cheer and celebrate each child. And you can see all the kids standing there with their counselors, and we wait till everyone is off the bus before we disperse and go back to the cabins. And that's just the start of this incredible week together. And I'm just really expecting that God is going to do great things, no matter what it looks like. It might not look like the picture that we see here. It might not look like we've done in other years past, but God has something amazing for us. He wants these kids to know they're not abandoned, that we haven't forgotten about them. And so we are going to find a way to do something special with them this year. So, okay, I'm going to exit out of this. And I'm going to stop the share. Okay, and now I'm back. All right, so any questions anyone has just right now on, actually, I think right before we go into the training part, I think I will just talk a little bit about what I've heard from the Royal Family Kids National Office and kind of what our options are for this summer. So as you saw from those pictures, a traditional camp experience is a 5-day camp experience at a campground. Most camps right now are finding that they're falling under restrictions that are not allowing them to do that. We don't know at this point what things are going to look like for us at the end of May. And we can't really make any decisions until we talk to social services when the quarantine, and stay-at-home orders have been lifted. So once we're past that, we're going to be talking to social services and seeing what they would actually allow us to do. Because for the most part, our campground, is welcoming us at this point, unless something has changed, in the last couple of weeks. But they are open to having us come and, be at the campground, but that would be determined by what social services would allow us to do. If we cannot do a full 5-day camp, or, and maybe the kids would, we don't know if the kids will be allowed to even be in an overnight situation or be in cabins. We don't know. Some camps might be doing shorter camps. Some camps might be doing a day camp versus like an overnight camp. We might even just be doing maybe like a 1-day event here at home where we maybe have a birthday party for all the kids and some activity centers. We don't know at this point what we're going to be able to do. Some camps are under restrictions and really can't have any interaction with their kids. And so they are going to have to be not have to be, but they're going to be doing like care packages for their kids and delivering them. And some camps are doing like a virtual camp where they're sending packages for them to open, like open this on day 1 and open this on day 2, and sending them like to a virtual website where they're getting to kind of participate from their homes. So that kind of runs the whole gamut of possibilities for what camp can look like. But what I was really encouraged by when we met with our president, Paul Martin, the CEO of Royal Family, he said that, what if we had no camp this year? Does that mean that Royal Family Kids is not effective? Does that mean that we don't have a purpose? Absolutely not, because our purpose goes beyond just a physical camp. Our purpose is in building relationships with our kids, especially the kids that have already come to camp and are expecting to return, or maybe this is their graduating year and, you know, this was the last year that they were going to be able to come to camp. We want to do something special to honor those kids, no matter what it is. It might be, you know, as I said, like a one-day event. It might be all of us writing personal letters and, you know, finding ways. We do have a mentoring club, so I know those mentors have also sent some care packages to the mentees that are already in our program. So we just have to wait a little bit longer to see exactly what we're going to be able to do this year. But no matter what, we're going to show our kids that we care about them, we love them, they're not forgotten, they're important. And we are asking all of you to bring your own creativity and your own ideas into these discussions as we get closer to figuring out exactly what we're going to do. Because this is new territory for everybody. All the camps that are in this right now are making it up as they go. And so your creativity, God brought you here for a purpose. I was praying that as we were just getting ready to start our meeting. And I just know that you have something vital to share with these kids this year. So I just want to open it up for some questions before we move on to talk about training. Anybody have any questions? Or any leadership want to add anything to anything I've said?
So we, along with the email for this Zoom meeting, we're directed to fill out a form to do a background check on us and also pay a fee for that. Is that something that is still necessary in lieu of everything going on, or do you want us to wait on it or still fill it out?
That's a great question. We would say to go ahead and fill it out because that allows us to move forward with all of the volunteers that are trained and ready. If we get the go-ahead, it takes too long to kind of like backtrack and try to do all those things after. And that's why we're also doing a portion of your training now. What we're requiring you to do now is not like the full amount of training at this point, but we wanted to have some training in place so that we know, you know, when we know what we're able to do, you might be already done. You might only need this several hours of training. You might be done, or we might say, hey, we're able to do the full camp, so now we need you to have the full 12 hours. You know, we just need to start the process so that we're not scrambling and backpedaling and trying to catch everything up. But that is a great question. So we would encourage you to just move forward.
Okay.
Probably the biggest thing is, yeah, God is bigger than the virus, right? God is bigger than everything. And we're, I guess, really hoping that whatever camp will be like, we're going to be prepared to do it. So if it's, you know, you get 3 hours, but you can do 3 days, awesome. If we can do 5 days, even better. So regardless of what, you know, God's calling us to do, we're going to be prepared to do his work and his will when we know the full capacity of what that is. So.
Awesome. All right, so speaking of training, because we are not able to physically meet live, we are going to be requiring you to do an online training component, which is going to give you kind of the basics of Royal Family. There's a number of important kind of key concepts and ideas and modules, and Julie wrote me a great suggestion, and that we could also record some ideas and share them via YouTube. So that was a great suggestion. So this online component you can do on your own time, and it's a 4-hour component, and you don't have to do it all at once either. And at the end of each module, there's a little quiz that you need to take, and then you would submit that to our email. I can give that to you right now, but we will send an email out to you with all the information, with who to send it to and how to submit your quizzes. It shows your participation is really what it is. So there's a little quiz at the end of each of the modules. So I want to show you how to get to that, and I'm going to ask my husband, who's brilliant and so helpful, to just be on standby in case I need him.
Oh, but I'm not allowed.
All right, so I'm going to try to share again.
I'm really proud of you. You finally learned how to share. That's awesome.
Yes,
Proud of
yes.
you.
Okay, here's the tricky part. I always open the screen, but then like the Zoom thing disappears. So
It's because it's behind.
yeah, I know. So how do you get there?
Just hit the Zoom thing.
Okay.
And it'll bring it to the front.
Okay.
I'm poking you in the nose. Jeff.
Yes, he's poking you, Jeff.
Come on. That's so gentle-ish.
Okay, do you see the Royal Family Kids site, everybody?
Yep.
Yes? Okay. All right, so if you go to rfk.org, this will lead you to where the training modules are. So once you go to rfk.org, you're going to see up here in the corner 3 little drop downs, and you're going to go to the RFK online downloads and training. Okay, so I'm going to click there. And once you're in the official Royal Family store, you're going to see this little tab here that says online training, and you're going to click here. And then you're going to go to this one here with the kids getting on the school bus. That is the camp new staff orientation training, which is 4 hours. Now, normally we do not have training costs like this, having people pay for training, because we're usually doing everything in person. So one of the things that I was going to kind of just mention at the end, but I'll just kind of mention it now, is that we always ask all of our staff to try to raise $300 in fundraising to help bring kids to camp and also to help pay for some of your expenses at camp. So by paying for this, you're actually helping us with some of the costs. So just include that as money you've already raised in your fundraising, okay? And so I just want to kind of let you know about that. So once you are, doing the training, you're going to see that it will pull up different modules. Let me just see if I did pull it up ahead of time. Here it is, I think, yeah. So it's going to pull up these different modules, and it's going to walk you through. You're going to have to, register and all of that. And then here's kind of the thing I wanted to share with you. So it says all videos need to be watched in their entirety to the very last second. And then they're going to give you a quiz at the end. Please read all the PDFs. They provide additional information to complete the quizzes. Completion of this course provides you with your first 4 hours of the training requirements as an RFK Camp volunteer. Upon completion, your certificate will appear on the screen. Please download your certificate and either email it or print it or bring it along to your camp director. So we're going to ask you, you can take a screenshot of it if you want. You can take a picture of it and send the picture to us. You can physically make an attachment and send that. However you want to do it is fine. We just actually need the proof that you've completed the 4-hour training modules. So there'll be a number of these different quizzes, and each one of the quizzes you will need to submit to show that you completed that section. Okay, and I think that's it. So I'm going to close this, and let me stop sharing and come back to all of you. Any questions on the online training component?
When does that have to all be completed by?
Great question. We would love for you to be completed with that within the next 2 weeks. So you would have all of this coming week and all of next week to complete that. And I mentioned a little bit earlier, we're going to send a follow-up email out to you guys. So there will be an exact date in there. We didn't actually set that before this meeting, but we'll have the exact date that it's due. And I will just highly encourage you to complete that on time, because it's part of what we are required to do. Each camp is required to show that all of their volunteers have met the training requirements. So if we're kind of having to like chase people and say, hey, we never got this, or we never got this, or we never got this, it just really creates a lot of extra, work on our end to track all of that. So if you can just put that in your calendar and just be diligent in tackling that, that would be so helpful for all of us. And thank you, Julie asked a great question. So day volunteers, if any of you are coming as a day volunteer, you do not have to complete any online training at all. And that's just good information for if some of your family members, for example, want to like come and volunteer for a day at camp. And then the returning staff are going to have different they've done trainings like this before, so they're not going to be doing the same. They are going to be doing some different modules than you guys are doing. Annie, did you want to say something?
I have a question, because we see several people where there's multiple members in the family.
Yes.
So let's say a husband and wife team sit down and they do the training together. There's only going to be one cost and one certificate, correct?
Yes, and I am completely fine with that, you guys. I just think that, we have to be flexible, because this is the time of being flexible. And there's really no reason to have, if there's 3 people in your family, to have 3 people buying the module. But you would have to be taking it together. You have to actually sit down then and commit to watching it together when you're doing those sections. I'm not sure. I apologize. I don't know if you can say you already watched module 2. I don't know if you can go back and watch module 2 again, like for somebody else in your family. So you're going to have to then coordinate your schedules. You can play around with that. If it's like, hey, it's totally accessible and you can just keep going back, we're totally fine with that. But you would just need to say, send this in saying these people all watch this together. We're all Christians, and we're just just counting that you guys are all doing this honestly and are going to complete the training, not for the sake of checking it off, but because this is really important information that you need to know to be prepared to be a volunteer. So that's why it's really that we need everybody to do their due diligence in completing it. Great question, Annie. Any other questions?
This isn't really related to the training, but how would you recommend we raise money for RFK?
Another great question. So we have some fundraising letters that we send out to our staff, usually about this time. And it's a great opportunity to say that you are participating in a mission trip for foster children. Now, because we're in kind of a unique situation, knowing that we might not physically be going to camp, we're going to kind of tweak the letters that we've traditionally used, and I'll be sending that out to you in that follow-up email as well, because the letters will probably be a little more broad in scope, saying that we're planning to have an RFK experience with our kids, and also that, by you helping, it's giving them the promise of a camp next year as well. So that can be something that those funds are going towards as we prepare for next year's camp as well. So that's a great question. We will be providing those letters for you, but you are encouraged to do whatever works for you. If it's easier for you to just send a little text out to your friends and say, hey, I'm so excited. I'm a new volunteer with Royal Family Kids. We help foster children to have a great experience in the summer, and I'm helping to raise support so I can go. Can I count on you to just help me out with the donation and be a part of this mission? I already saw Abby. Abby, I would love for you to share. I already saw like a follow-up on one of your emails that you were already doing a little fundraising. Why don't you just share what you just did?
Yeah, so I just added it to the signature of my email because I had done like the virtual starfish walk, if some of you are familiar. So I just put like a little link on the bottom, and actually being a teaching artist, May is actually considered like National Teaching Artist Month, and also May is National Foster Care Month.
Yes.
So I kind of like tied the two together and just said like, by the way, because most people know what I do. So in the signature, I just said like, May is National Teaching Artist Month and National Foster Care Month. I'd love for you to support me. Any donation is appreciated. Just a brief blurb in my emails so that anyone who sees it, who I sent out emails to, can just click on the link. So yeah.
And that's so awesome. And just so you know, for those of you that did participate in the Starfish Walk, that any funds that you raised already, that counts towards your 300. That's not separate. So that's part of the fundraising. If you've already, maybe you walked yourself and you maybe, got some donations from family and friends, that's all part of your fundraising. And then, but we do have our own website now. You might have been donating to the 5K events like walk, run, register kind of site, but we do have our own website, and this will all be in the email going out to you, but I'll give it to you right now if you want to write it down. It's milwaukee.royalfamilykids.org. And there is a direct donation link right on our site if people want to donate there. So we will have that email in the letter that will be going out to you. But just in case like you're doing something like Abby's doing where she's attaching it to some emails. So it was a great idea. I was like, whoa, go girl. So thanks for sharing that. Any other questions on training or fundraising or anything else that's on your mind?
Lisa, if people are going to make a donation, doesn't it have to come to RFK if they want to get a tax, statement saying they've made a donation?
I'm going to let Annie answer that.
It does. And let me just clarify. Royal Family has to operate faith-based. We're operating under Changing Lives Assembly of God. They are the host church. So when you're donating and you're going to the PayPal, it'll take you to PayPal. You'll see that your donation is going to Changing Lives. It's not going to our church. It's going to Royal Family at Changing Lives. It's just the legal thing that we need to do. Once you do the PayPal thing, you do get an auto reply. Thank you for donating, Jan. And that automatically can be used as a receipt. Okay. And then also at the end of the year, Changing Lives sends out tax receipts.
Yes.
So you get two tax receipts in essence.
Great question.
The other piece is, depending on where people are working, some employers actually match or have a giving part for if you're doing volunteer work for a not-for-profit, and because they like to see employees involved in community activities. So you may not know that your employer actually has that piece. So it's worth asking.
Great
because
point.
They may match the money you're giving or that you've raised, or they may just give a donation on behalf of you.
My husband retired from Cargill, and we all know that corporate have their agencies, their organizations that are sanctioned at a corporate level. But Cargill has discretionary monies on a local level. And so we filled out the form for my husband, sent it in, and they gave us locally $500, which was used to pay for the Christmas party for Royal Family Kids Camp. So there's a lot of different things that are out there, like Jan mentioned, that we can do to raise funds. And I am glad to fill out any forms that need to be done.
But even places like Walmart and, some of those larger stores have got that kind of giving set up within their corporate structure. So don't be, all you can do is ask, all they can say is no, they don't.
Right.
But maybe they will. Annie, are we set up with Boone Supply again?
Yes, we are.
Do you want to explain that, or do you want?
Boone Supply is like, it's like buying on we're set up with Amazon, smile.amazon. We can send that information out. We're also set up with Gordon Foods. If you're buying some of their, stuff that allows you to be qualified, we're set up with them. But Boone Supply is like a Pampered Chef kind of, really good quality products. What's really good about Boone Supply, unlike a lot of these other places that only give you like 10%, they'll give you 50%. So anything that you buy, 50% goes to the nonprofit that is registering. From time to time, I'll run a fundraiser, around graduation time and weddings and stuff, because it's mostly household type of items that they're selling.
Thank you.
Do you have, is there a name we're registered under, or will you send that out?
When we do the fundraising stuff, that's when we send that stuff out.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, we'll definitely put that all in the email. So, any other questions? Let me look in the chat because I have a couple in here. Yeah, and somebody, I think, Julie, I love your idea about drop-offs, because we had on the chat with Rural Family National, they had a number of camps that are already kind of thinking in that direction of, like, if we have to do some type of virtual camp, trying to bring the camp experience to the camper in their homes. Some camps have like little envelopes open on day 1, open on day 2, and it could be little boxes, or and Julie even said maybe even like a piece of birthday cake, for birthday day, or we could do videos and they could access them on YouTube. So there's so much that we can do. So instead of us focusing on what we can't do and what it should, we thought it was going to look like, there's just a lot of possibilities. So I love that you guys are already starting to think, because rather than waiting, one of the national leadership people that was speaking said, it's time to start pivoting. Even if we're not sure exactly what's going to happen, it's time to start thinking about things that we can do that might be different, rather than having to just sort of wait to the very end. Like, for example, Andrea is our Bible teacher. So she was planning to go to camp and be on a stage and have all, have all these lessons. And maybe we'll still get to do that. We don't know. But, she's, going to maybe have to start thinking about, how could I maybe do like a video or something virtual and still bring that, some of the messages to the kids. Like David is a woodworker. He's, he could put together woodworking kits for the kids, and they could do simple crafts at home too. So thanks for just continuing to starting the process of thinking outside of the box and how we can make this a really amazing experience for our kids, no matter which direction we go. All right. So are there any other questions?
I had a clarifying question I just thought of. Oh,
yes.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
With the suggested, we're supposed to try to raise $300, is there some place we're supposed to track that? I just realized if there's a direct link and someone just donates, is there a way, are they supposed to put our name with that donation, or is it just kind of on our system, just try your best to raise that?
On the donation itself, there isn't really a place on the tab itself. What I would suggest is, sometimes people do that in a memo field of a check. That's an easy way to say, on behalf of this person. But, maybe what I would suggest, and we can put that in the letter, is to just say, if you could let me know if a donation was made, on my behalf, I will, count that towards my fundraising efforts. So kind of putting it on the people that donate. You know, like we did Starfish Walk fundraising in our family, and so I know who's donating. So we can look up names. If you know somebody donated, we can find their name and add that to your total. That's very easy on PayPal. But sometimes you really don't know if somebody is donating. Like you're sending out all those emails, right? And somebody could just like do a random donation. So maybe just saying, I'm tracking, I've set a goal to raise X amount. If you've made a donation and could let me know, I would greatly appreciate it, or something like that. And that could help you just internally track it. We do not really track it ourselves. We don't sit there with you're at this amount, and you're at this amount, you're at this amount. We're just asking everyone to the best of our ability to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. And then Justin, you had a question.
Yeah, so I know we were supposed to have another staff training next Saturday.
Yes.
Is that going to happen in some virtual way, or is there any plans to, I mean, I guess we won't do this through May, but are there any plans before camp starts at all to all get together in some way?
Great question. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing something kind of similar with the whole staff. We're not doing a Zoom meeting like this, but we're going to do kind of a little webinar with some information for them. And then after we know what our week is going to, what we're going to be able to do as a camp, then we're going to, hopefully try to do something together. But we're not going to be getting together next Saturday. So this is going to kind of fulfill your piece of the training at this point. It might just be Sunday night. Sunday night before camp is when we typically, got together. So, depending on what we're doing, the first opportunity to really all be together. We don't know at this point. But I'm glad you brought up the other training, because one of the things that we always do at the main training is order our camp shirts. So you're going to be getting some information on that. And Annie, I don't know if you have any updates at this point on ordering on the website yet or not.
No, we have to change the software that we were using, and we're in the process of doing that. But once we set it up, it's just like ordering on a shopping cart, like if you're shopping at Target.
Right. So we are going to ask everyone to order a camp shirt. Whether we go to camp or not, you are part of the Royal Family team this year. And so we're going to find a way to either take a group picture, we're going to find a way to minister to our kids in some way. And so we want everyone to be a part of the team. And when we're actually together, the first day we all wear our camp shirts. And that kind of shows the kids that these are all the safe people that I'm with. We're all in this together. So you're going to get some information on ordering your shirt. And there's a couple different styles. So you can go to the website. We'll include information on how you can look at them if you want to just kind of see the different styles. And then you can order yourself a camp shirt. And that'll be, right on the website.
If we are blessed with the opportunity to go to camp, yes, we will all have an opportunity to get together the Saturday before. Everybody's invited to come and pack the truck for camp.
That's right.
Yes, we will have an opportunity to get together.
Yeah, and we have, before camp, we also have organizational nights where we pack all these supplies. There'll be plenty of opportunities to get together before that as well. Yes, good point, Dave. Any other questions? Well, we have about 5 minutes left, and I don't know if some of our leadership team, if anyone has a particular story that they want to share to kind of, I have just a few closing words, but if anyone had something that they wanted to share, we'd be happy to hear a little camp story from one of you, if you would like to share that.
Well, last year was probably the most emotional camp for me. As the expediter, I get to be blessed in special ways because I'm the guy that runs, when a counselor says the child needs shoes or a swimsuit or that type of thing, I'm the guy that goes and gets it for that child. And the counselor is the one that gives it to the child, but they will often say, Mr. Dave got that. And of course, when the child sees me, they come running up to me and give me hugs. So I get all the gratitude. Last year, there was a special child who I had to get some clothing items for. And that little girl not only hugged me very hard every time I saw her, but she would also tell me that she loves me. And it was very genuine. And she, took a piece of my heart, and also my wife, Heather, Demaya. We haven't heard from her since. We don't know if she'll be here at camp this year or not. But she really, really stole our hearts. We, both of us, wanted to take her home, and we actually did pursue trying to get her into our home. But we've lost contact with her, so we're not sure what. But yeah, last year was a very, very emotional and touching experience for me.
Amen. Would anyone else like to share? Annie or Jeff?
I was a counselor first, and my first couple of years, I had a kid, and I mean, first of all, I'm a dad. I have 3 kids, and so for me, praying with my kids at bedtime is my normal. And some of these kids, girls or boys, don't have that. The person to pray with them at night and whatever. And so, camp's 5 days. The first 2 days, I'm going to every person in my bunk or my cabin. Can I pray for you at night? Tuck them in. I did it for every kid in my cabin, besides the kid that I was assigned to. I think it was like Wednesday night, and Johannes was his name. And he's like, "Hey, I got this." I'm like, "You got what? You got cookies? You got slime in your backpack?" Like, I'm like defensive, like, what's going on, right? And he's like, "No, I got this." And he goes to every single bunk and says, "Can I pray for you?" He basically saw what I did, and then he did it to every single one of these kids. And then he's like, "Now can I pray for you?" I'm like, trying not to cry in front of him. So that was pretty amazing. Like, again, you never know, what little words, what actions you do can make a big difference. But seeing him, and I've known him for 2 years at that point, and he was like the jokester, good kid, could cause trouble, whatever. But then seeing him pray for other kids, and then these are not like prayers that are like, "Oh, I pray you sleep, amen." No, like these are like heartfelt, like, wow, this is a kid that it was amazing. Like, it was pretty awesome.
That's a great. That's one of my very favorite camp stories from all of our years. Is that story that you shared, Jeff?
Excuse me, Lisa. Can I say a story real fast?
Oh, of course, David.
He may have aged out. I'm not sure at this point. But in the Racine camp, there was a girl that just got off into everything. She'd come off the bus and she was just lit up like a firecracker. She just had a really great time. And I remember talking to her at the little woodcraft area, and just all smiles, right? And she'd make her little wood crafts and go off and do other stuff. And she told me one year, "Yeah, I make them and I really enjoy them, but my dad takes anything wood that I bring home and burns in the fireplace to stay warm in the winter." And obviously she didn't like that, but the point here is what happens at camp gave her hope for the other 51 weeks of the year.
Mm-hmm.
She run off that hope that she knew she was in a place that was safe, where she could do stuff and people loved her. And that just gave her, it gave her hope. It fed her humanity. It just kept her going for the other 51 weeks.
Thank you so much for sharing that, David. It's just so true for so many of our kids that they hang on to this experience for the entire year, and they just look forward to coming back next year. And so I just want to close before we just kind of pray to end that as Jeff mentioned and David mentioned, and Dave, that these small moments that we're creating, they matter. We don't know how that little act of caring or compassion, just showing interest in them, or just saying, "Hey, we're still here. we don't know if we're going to camp this year, but we're here. We know we know who you are. We love you. That's going to make a difference in their life that they're going to carry with them, and be able to have that hope, as David mentioned. So we're just going to trust God in these next couple weeks to see what direction he's leading us this year. And no matter what, we are still having some type of Royal Family experience, because that's what we've been called to, and that's what all of you have been called to. And so we're just so thankful for you guys that we get to work alongside you this year and pour into the lives of these kids. So thank you so much for giving up your evening to be with us tonight. And Jeff, would you mind kind of closing us out in prayer? And if you have any further questions that you think of later, feel free to email us at Milwaukee. Our email is a little different. It's milwrfkc@yahoo.com. That's milwrfkc@yahoo.com. All right, we're going to have Jeff just kind of pray us out.
All right, let's pray. Lord, thank you so much for bringing all these great new faces to us, Lord. Yes, I wish we were in person, but Lord, just seeing these faces and more importantly, hearing their hearts is amazing. And Lord, I pray that the camp you're going to give us, Lord, is going to be just an amazing camp, Lord. If it's 1 day, 3 days, 5 days, whatever it is, Lord, I pray that you are the one that is going to give these kids this hope. And obviously I'm selfish, Lord. I want it to be 5 days. But I pray that you can, for now, protect our kids, Lord, that they don't hear or see things they should not be seeing and hearing, that you keep them safe, that their week or their day with us is coming. But it's not us, it's you. It's really what you do through us, Lord, that makes a difference. It's not my words, it's your words. But yet you allow us to be used by you, which is pretty amazing, Lord. So Lord, I pray from now until whatever's going to happen, that you keep us safe, that you give us the perseverance and the endurance to get through every day, which could be easy or hard, being separate from our family and friends at times, that when we do really decide what's going to happen, that you give us your wisdom and your discernment to really follow your plan and not our own. Lord, I pray for everyone on this call right now, for all returning staff who are not on this call, that you just keep us safe, that you just keep us in tune with your spirit, so that that really, Lord, that we can do your will when we come together. Thank you, Lord, for this time. Amen.
Amen. Thank you again, everybody. We look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you.
Stay safe. Be well.
Be well.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hi, team.
Hello. Hola. That was weird but cool.
Wasn't it awesome? I just love those people. They're just great.
Well, it's cool to see like Jordan, because like when I met her, she was like 8. Or like what I was gonna say to Justin was, but I didn't say it, was, okay, as part of your raising money, if you can give us good weather, that's what
that would have been awesome, Jeff. Why didn't you say that?
I thought about that, but I'm thinking, how many bad jokes do a weatherman really hear?
Well, you know what? You're still being recorded, so I'm sure Justin's going to appreciate hearing this.
That's a
I am going to stop recording right now.